Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Kamga and I react. Today's video is going to be a video by Tayo Aina. If you're from the older channel or if you're new here, what I'm about to say doesn't make any sense if you're new here. But I did a reaction to Tayo Aina's videos a while ago and I chose to return to this brand new channel with this video. I think it's pretty cool. Video title, I travel the world with Africa's hardest passport. That's what we're going to watch. If you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. In the meantime, let's get right into the video. All right. Are you ready? Everybody. Try to do here. Oh, cool. Works. All right.
As a Nigerian, one of the biggest problems I've faced has been traveling the world. Anybody who's a Nigerian who's watching this understands what I'm saying. But despite that problem, I've been able to travel to over 25 countries. And in this video, I want to share with you guys how I've been able to do that. So let's jump right in.
Man, one of the things that will always be cool with this man's videos is just the level at which he pushes his cinematography. I have not been a committed viewer of his content, but it's just cool. I mean, look at his intro. It's like what? How many seconds? 19 seconds. 19 seconds. I don't know if you can see that. It's 19 seconds on the video. And he's already given a really cool intro about where he's been, what he's done, and what you're going to get in this particular video. That's less than 20 seconds. He's already been able to tell us exactly what's that. And then plus, you have to get cool cinematography to be able to, get all that cool stuff. So I think that's nice. Really nice.
So guys, first of all, I'm currently in Madeira right now. Madeira is an island off the coast of Portugal. It's kind of like close to Africa, but just check out the view behind me. There's water there. Don't worry, I have a video coming very soon. But let's jump into how I've been able to travel the world, even though my passport is one of the hardest to use to travel across the world. First off, let me pull up this website called Passport Index. It's a website used to show ranking of different passports and their strengths. If we look at it, Nigerian passport currently ranks 84. And 84. You can only travel to 24 visa-free countries. Just look at this map.
I wonder where Cameroonian passport ranks on this guy. Let me see. Let's say passport index. Let's try that. Passport index. Let's see. What's passport in your pocket? I mean, this is probably definitely not part of the reaction, but I'm just curious what that would look like. Find your passport, explore them all. Let's find Cameroon. Where do we rank? We rank Cameroon ranks 82nd. Yo, I mean, yeah, so 84th. So we're just two. Just watch the video quietly.
Look at how red it is. These are all the places you can't travel to. But how have I managed to do it? For me, my journey with travel started in 2018. The first country I ever traveled to was Russia. And Russia, I'm sure you're wondering why Russia. That was because they were doing the World Cup then and there wasn't need for visa during that period. So I got a chance to travel to Russia. This first trip was what spurred what you see on my channel today. It opened my eyes to the potential and opportunities that existed out there. And this was the period where I now decided that I wanted to
that beard has grown well, oh my brother. This is nice. Look at. Wait, did you see that? Okay, I've gone too far now.
Potential and opportunities that existed out there.
And this was the period where I now decided the beard has become, it's much more dollar beard now.
I did that. I wanted to start making more travel videos because I realized that the world was such a big place and there were so many things happening out there that I wanted to document and I also wanted to experience. So how have I been able to travel the world even though I own one of the hardest passports to use to travel? Number one, what I did when I started was to start with low-hanging fruits. When I say low-hanging fruits, I mean the visa-free countries. So my first journey after I came back from Russia.
That's a really cool tip. If you think about it, it means there's no country that doesn't have a place where you can travel without a visa, right? There's no country where you can say that, oh, no matter what you do, this particular country you can visit. Starting with low-hanging fruits is definitely a really cool tip. If I had thought about that, I'd probably have traveled more in Cameroon than I did, but yeah.
Was to go to Kenya. I went to Kenya, I documented it, made videos.
By the way, I need to say this. So reaction videos, you have to react. I know that sometimes people don't get that because it's like, why are you interrupting the video? The whole point is to interrupt the video, give my perspective, and if you really want to watch the video and all that, the link is going to be in the description. So don't feel that I actually do like the sound of my voice, but that's not the reason why I'm talking. I cannot destroy this wonderful video or copy and paste it. So I need to give a comment. That's the whole point of reacting. So
about it, and then eventually from there I now went to Ghana. Those two countries back then, they didn't need visa. Ghana still doesn't need visa, but Kenya needs visa now. I traveled to Benin Republic. I also traveled to Tanzania too. So I started with those countries that I don't need visa for, and that even made me even understand what travel was. I basically got more experience with traveling by traveling to those countries. From there, I was now able to get my South African visa. The South African visa is probably the strongest visa, or one of the strongest visas, if not the strongest visa to get in Africa. That was the first visa that was like stamped on my passport, and I got it on the first try, luckily for me. A lot of people always wait because they want to travel to the US or they want to travel to the UK, but it's difficult for them to give you a visa when you've never traveled anywhere before.
That's a
When
good
you guys
point.
were able to sit down and just make videos tonight.
That's a good point. Many people try to travel out of the country, try to travel to different places, but what they fail to realize is that it's like the whole chicken and egg thing, right? For the people to give you a visa, you must have traveled. Before you to travel, you get a visa. So it's like, how do you get work experience without getting a job? You know, you try an internship, you volunteer, you look for low-hanging fruits, which is exactly what he did. He found the countries around that were able to give him the visas, and the ones that did not need visas for him to go. So I think that's pretty cool. However, even just thinking about it now, I'm just wondering also, like, what keeps my mind is like the privilege of him being able to be in a position where he can actually afford to buy a ticket to Russia. I don't know how he did it. It might have been for work or anything else. I don't have that information. So, but it's just the idea that even if you're in a country where you have a visa free and you can travel out of the country, some people just cannot afford to pay for the ticket to do travel out of the country, to even get a passport. So something to keep in mind. You know?
You're enjoying them. This is how people make videos. So yeah, when I was applying for my US visa, the first question they asked me was, how many countries have you traveled to? And that's why I said start with low-hanging fruits, because your travel history is very important for you to get more visas in the future. My travel history really helped me, because when they said, how many countries have you traveled to? I just started listing plenty countries. Oh, I've been here. And then the lady was like, okay, hold up. But if I didn't travel to those African countries that I traveled to first, I would have had limited countries to mention, because I just got my US visa this year. There's a dog, there's an annoying dog barking. Sorry about the dog.
He's apologizing for the dog for what now. But not to forget what he just said, like if he hadn't traveled to those countries, the interview would have been a different conversation, right? So sometimes for people who want to leave the country, it's easy to think that you have to just go straight to the place where you want to go. But those low-hanging fruits, I think he's really reiterated the point, and I'm taking forever, just 3 minutes, is find places that you can go to without having to deal with the red tape of travel, which is, I guess, one of the tips, how he did it with the difficult passport like Nigerian passport. So it's good to know.
Back in ball. I just got my US visa this year in March, and that was the first time I was ever applying for a US visa, and I got it. And the main reason I got it was because of my travel history. Ooh.
You see,
reach out to brands if you are.
This is what I love. I mean, I know we're talking about travel here, and I see that a lot of the comments about the travel, but just look at what he did. He changed the scene, the colors. I mean, you should go and watch the video. The thing is clean. Like, I am watching this and looking at how can I make better videos like this on my other channel, which are not just sit down talk videos. Like, he's changing position, he's using different angles. There's movement. He's a filmmaker, so there's a lot of that into it. But I just like how he's using it.
Somebody who wants to travel and kind of like get paid to do what I do, you need to reach out to brands.
He did say something.
Ooh. Reach out to brands. If you are somebody who wants to travel and kind of like get paid to do what I do, you need to reach out to brands ahead of time. For example, one of the brands that has been a long-time sponsor of this channel and of today's video is a company called Surfshark VPN. And I'm not just saying that because they gave me some money to talk about them in this video, which they actually did. I always have an active yearly Surfshark subscription on my phone.
All right, we're going to watch the ad because
not only because of the protection it gives me from accessing
public
Wi-Fi
he's saying
like the
that
one you see at the airport, but also because it gives me access to any show on Netflix that I want to watch.
And all that. I use a different one, and this is not a sponsored video, so we'll talk about it. But the least we can do is
called The Blue Eye Samurai, which
this
I recommend you should watch.
I've never watched this one.
Imagine you were living in a country where you couldn't access this. This is where Surfshark comes in. It gives you access to watching any movie you want on Netflix in any country you might be. The great part about Surfshark VPN
I'm enjoying the music in the background, by the way.
30-day money back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose by signing up on the platform. If you want to sign up to Surfshark VPN,
and by the way,
use the code SOFTIRE.
I don't know about you, but it's just cool to see an African content creator doing one of these. If you've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, you know that it's not something that It's easy to come by, and it's just I would watch this from any African content creator because I know how difficult it is to get to the point where you can actually get brands to sponsor stuff like this. So hey,
that you can see on the screen. You get up to 6 additional months if you use this code, and you can also sign up by using the code in the description below. Now let's jump right back into the video. I'm just seated on my, I don't know what this is, but it's like my open
patio.
It's like a balcony, but it has a really nice view. And this is my apartment.
Did you see that? Ooh, did you see that transition? Check this out. Check this out. I don't know if you noticed this. Check this out. Just check this out. See the transition, right? Just you have to see this transition. See this. Where's my screen?
It has a really nice view. And this is
all right, maybe I'm overreacting, but that is really cool. That is really cool.
It's like my open, it's like a balcony, but it has a really nice view. And this is my apartment.
So essentially, right, he took the camera. So you have to do a shot like this, one for the first one and another shot for the second one. And then you basically blur the transition. Like you I don't know how to call it. Is it interface, one of those video editing jobs where you paint one transition above the other so it looks seamless. Like it's really cool. Let me just watch one more time. Just one more time.
I open, it's like a balcony, but it has a really nice view. And this is my apartment. Yeah, it's a really nice apartment. It's a penthouse apartment. 4th story with a nice view of the ocean on this side, and a nice view of the sea on this side. So I kind of like have 2 balconies. I'll show you guys the full tour of this apartment on the next video that is coming very soon. But I think this video is just kind of like, you know, let me show you guys what I'm up to. As you guys can see now, I'm in a penthouse in Madeira with a really nice view of the ocean. But back then, I didn't even have a chance to stay in these kind of places. I stayed in like some of the cheapest places ever. Even up to now, I still try to stay in cheap places, but it's just that my taste buds have, you know, has increased over the years. So these days I want to stay somewhere comfortable. But buds have, you know.
Yo, do you recognize what this is? Do you know what this is? Like, let me see if we can. Let's get that. This is saving my life in the US with the winter. When it gets cold, your lips get chapped. Vaseline all day, every day. Let's get back to the video.
Has increased over the years, so these days I want to stay somewhere comfortable. But I try to live as frugally as possible. When I started traveling, I didn't even used to buy clothes till like last year, because all my money was going into like funding all my trips. Because one of the most important things for me is freedom to explore the world, freedom to go and experience new cultures. So I didn't spend money on anything that wasn't involved in getting gear, which is what I used to film the videos that you guys see. As you guys have seen in many of my videos, I always do this thing where I just say, I set a budget of $1,000, which I would make sure not to go over. Most people when they travel, they don't spend $1,000, they spend a lot more than that. But me, keeping my expenses as cheap as possible allowed me to travel to more places. So for example, if I had $5,000, I can use $5,000 to travel to, let's say, 4 countries, as compared to somebody who has $5,000 and they can only travel to 1 country.
You see, that is one of the points I was mentioning earlier about not knowing how he was able to afford it. So the fact that he was actually very money conscious and very frugal with his money allowed him to be able to maximize whatever money he had. So even if he wasn't able to travel by plane, he would probably be able to just, I don't know, drive to the place or find a way to get there. So I think he answered the question that I had about how he was able to afford it. He mentioned the whole brand thing, being if a brand, you know, pays for you, like if you get a brand that actually funds the trip, then like reach out to the brands, they fund the trip, so you don't even get your own money. You just need to have a passport. And by the way, he's talking like you save the money that you have to do the things that you really want to do. So that is some good advice. Yeah.
That way I've seen more of the world than that person. Another thing that living frugally also helps you do is it helps you save enough money. There's this thing they call proof of funds. The more money you have in the bank, the more likely it is for you to get a visa whenever you apply for it. So as long as you can show that you have a lot of money coming in and going out, and you just have enough money to take care of yourself, because what the embassies want to know is coming in and going out, and you just have enough money to take care of yourself, because what the embassies want to know is that they want to make sure that you have enough money to take care of yourself. They don't want you to come to the country and then become like a liability. All the nice things you guys see, you have to close your eye. If you're seeing people living a very expensive lifestyle, first of all, you don't even know where they're getting money from. Secondly, you don't have it. So just close your eye to that. Don't look at them. Focus on where you are going to and try to live as cheaply as possible. At the end of the day, when it comes to like people who live expensive lifestyle. It's good. Money is good. I want to be able to afford whatever I want. But I think at the end of the day, trying to spend your money to impress people doesn't serve you in the long run. Because,
Yeah.
like, why? Why you but that? Save your money and use it to travel and experience the world.
You know, I think it's a solid advice, not just for travel, but for life in general. Spending your money, I think it was in this movie, Fight Club, that you buy things you don't like to impress people. You don't like you buy things you don't like to impress people. You don't respect. Something about the whole cycle of doing things just because people are watching and you're trying to impress people and just wasting your life and your time. I think it's solid advice too, just across the board, not just for travel.
Memories, the experiences that you gain from those trips, the wealth of knowledge, the people you meet, there's no price that you can put on that. Yeah. Woo. I got a nice apartment, but before I didn't have access to this kind of apartment. Another cool one too is to make friends with as many people as possible worldwide. The more friends you have in many places, the more you can travel to those places and not spend money on accommodation.
That is a very solid. This one, I have personally experienced it. Personally, whenever I travel in the US now, well, not whenever, but it's happened to me recently. I realized like it wasn't what I was setting out to do, but I just realized that wait, having somebody in a different state means that if you're going to go to that state, you can actually stay with them. Imagine if you have friends, even with the same country, if you have friends in different towns and you maintain those relationships and you're actually cool people, not just a friend for the sake of having a place to sleep, but having people that you can call and say, I'm coming to town, and they are happy to receive you and they are happy to hang out with you. That saves you money on lodging and potentially feeding. So, solid advice again.
It might sound self-seeking or it might sound some type of way, but the more people you can build a relationship
That's what they
with,
might
first of all, the more family you have across the world. If you're ever traveling to a place and you need maybe some sort of support, they can always render it. So for me now, I've traveled to so many countries and I've made many friends there. So if I'm going back there anytime in the future, it's just much easier. Because then I have people that I can call and be like, oh, if I'm going to London.
Can we just say that his music choice is really cool? I don't know about you, but when I'm watching a video, even if the background music is not high, I like it to be enjoyable. Like it's just a subtle element. It's like bass music, right? When you listen to music and the bass is not there, it's like something is off. But when the bass is there, you don't hear the bass most of the time unless it's like a bass-centric song. But when it's not there, it's like something is missing, and you can hear the music. Like his music choice, I just think is really cool that he's doing to be able to just little things that are really. I like.
It's just much easier because then I have people that I can call and be like, oh, if I'm going to London, my last trip to London, I called my friend and I was like, okay, I wanted to come and stay in your place. I stayed in this place. Even when I was in New York, I stayed in my friend's place too. Another good part about making friends with people too is also the fact that those friends would kind of like tell you where to go and where not to go. They would help you avoid tourist traps. Tourist traps are, when you travel to a place and then you have to pay exorbitant amounts of money for something that should have just been cheap. So making friends is also another thing to take.
Yeah, like we traveled to this town the other day, and if we had known how difficult it was to find an Uber or Lyft or get a cab, we probably would have done things differently. So having those friends, even if you don't live with them, people who have traveled, they can give you advice on how to live in a town that you don't know, a country where you don't know. So yeah, solid too.
This is just a very random and lazy vlog. But yeah, I think in general, why I'm making this video is very different from what I usually make because most of my videos are very highly produced.
So he's considering this one not highly produced. I think this is the one that for me I need to start producing, but if this is not highly produced, then you can imagine what highly produced for Teo Aina sounds like. So,
but I feel like there's a wealth of knowledge that I have that a lot of people can gain from. Like, I don't know if this video would inspire somebody out there to travel more. I think the whole point of traveling is to see the world. A lot of people have this mindset that you need to have a lot of money to travel. You don't necessarily need to have a lot of money to travel. If your mindset is to travel and see the world, you can start with somewhere that is in your neighborhood. You don't need to travel to America.
Exactly.
You don't need to travel to UK.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about, right? You don't need to have to leave the country. You don't need to have to get out of your borders. You can begin within your own country and see different places, different quarters in your town. Like one of the things that I want to say regret, because I can't really change much, is I didn't travel much when I was in Cameroon, within Cameroon itself. There are places that I now look back like, oh, I would like to go to this place, but I was there for most of my adult life, and or at least my youngest adult. I was there until like my late 20s, and I did not travel to these places. And it's like, what was I thinking? But now, it's different. I can't do that now just because of the way life has happened. So yeah.
Before you see the world, you can go next door. If you live in Nigeria, you can go to Benin Republic. If you live in South Africa, you can go to Botswana. If you live in Kenya, you can go to Tanzania and just explore. There's so much of the world to see, and there's so much of the world to learn. We don't necessarily always have to fly across the ocean before we know that we've actually traveled. And that is how my journey started. My travel across the world hasn't been always smooth. I've had so many issues over the years. When I traveled to Ethiopia, I got arrested. It said I had drugs in my stomach, that I needed to use the toilet in front of everybody before I could leave the airport. I've been arrested in South Africa in my videos. I've been held in Kenya too and extorted. I've had my fair share of
I was just enjoying the whole thing and not realize that there's also a dark side to it. And it's nice how he's still able to bring this side of the conversation, because I would never have imagined that he had this kind of experience, and to be able to go through that multiple times and keep traveling. That says a lot about the kind of person that he is and his vision for what he's doing, because most people will stop at the first time. You get arrested the first time, like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah.
Problems on my trips. Ironically, most of the problems I've ever had have all happened in Africa. And that's not to say like Africa is like a bad place or anything. It's just what it is. Traveling with a Nigerian passport across Africa is also difficult, as much as traveling across the world with a Nigerian passport is also difficult, because you get denied visas. You have
being Nigerian seems like a crime these days.
Labels on you. People just put labels on you. They feel like you're a criminal or something, or they just feel like you're somebody who doesn't have good intentions. But despite all these challenges, I'm thankful that I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to meet some of the most amazing people that I call family and friends today. I've been able to work with some of the biggest brands in the world. And I've also been able to, live a life that I always dreamed of. Like, just check out where I'm at. So yeah, I don't know, this is kind of like a vlog. I don't know, maybe I should start vlogging more and just talking to you guys, because I feel like most of my content is just like very serious stuff. But yeah, guys, I don't want to waste too much of your time. That's all I have to share with you today. I hope somebody learned something from this video. Also, a lot of you guys who are traveling, what are some of the tricks and tips you've been able to use to travel the world if you are a Nigerian, or if you come from a country that has a very difficult passport to travel with? What are some of the ways? Please comment below so that a lot of people out there can actually learn from you. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the
Yep, that was a pretty good video, Mr. Aina. I think personally, I'm taking some of the tips from there, like start small, which I think I already started. We've been driving around instead, visiting states that are close by. For countries, that'll be another interesting conversation to try to see. But I think anybody who's on the African continent who watches this video is going to really enjoy being able to be in a position where they can try those things. Like, start small. Don't waste money. Make friends in the places that you go, and know that there are going to be situations that are not ideal. So prepare your mind for it. I think all in all, traveling is a wonderful way to experience the world. The world is vast and huge, and God has made this wonderful place for us to, subdue and take over. And so that's what you should do. So yeah, I think it was a really good video. If you liked my reaction, please go ahead and subscribe. This is a new channel. I'm wanting to build this because if you watch up to this, and you probably listen to the rest of this. So essentially, I started reaction videos on the other channel. It sort of took off, but I didn't want to do more reaction videos because I was trying to not destroy the message that I had from the beginning. So I chose to start a new channel with reactions only. So this is it. If you're watching this, this is the channel. Subscribe to the channel. You're going to get reaction videos only. If you want to get more serious stuff, you can go to the other channel, and then, there'll be links and stuff probably. But thank you for watching. My name is Kamga on the channel React. And if you enjoy reactions, leave a comment with a video you would like me to react to. I will see you in the next one. God bless you.